guys, what's up? It's your girl Simone Cherise, and today in this video I am doing a highly requested video. Today is also day 2 of my 7 days of fun. So in this video I'm pretty much going to be showing you guys how to start a YouTube channel for beginners. I'm always being asked this question. Everyone asks me, how do I edit? How do I record? How do I find my music? And blase. So I figured I'd do a whole entire video showing you guys the basics of how you start a YouTube channel. So the first step is to make sure that you choose a really good YouTube name, okay? And that's really important because a lot of times I've seen people's channels whose names are so hard and it's kind of just like, I don't know how to spell that, or it doesn't roll right off of your tongue. If it's too long and it has too much going on, chances are no one's gonna actually go to your channel name and type it in, okay? And the point is, you wanna be easily reachable, you wanna be easy accessible, you don't want it to be where you start your channel and no one's really spending the time to find you. Spend time picking out your YouTube name. Another good reason why you should really make sure the YouTube name is the one that you really want is because later on in the future, you might wanna go ahead and brand your channel, you might wanna turn it into, you might wanna license it, you might wanna hold that name so nobody else can't use it. You might want to go ahead and do that. And if you start off with one name and then later on end up changing, it might be a little bit confusing, messy, and kind of confuse your audience. So for me, it was so hard to choose a YouTube name. I went around the block with YouTube names. Okay, I had like 3, 4, 5 that I changed, and then I ended up just using my government. I ended up just using Simone Cherise because it was a part of my name. But the safer route to always do is to use your first name, your first middle name, your first last name if you really want to. That's the safer route because that's going to always be you and you're not going to really think about really changing it. So for step 2, you want to make sure that you start your YouTube channel with a clear and open mind, okay? When I say that, I mean, when you start your channel, do not start with the expectation that you're going to grow overnight, okay? It doesn't happen that way. And if you start that way, you pretty much are setting yourself up for failure. So for me, when I started my YouTube channel, I was happy with 4 subscribers. I was happy with 5. I was happy with 100. And you have to have that mindset because if you start your channel thinking, I'm going to get that and that amount of views, I'm going to get that and that amount of subscribers, you're going to just fail because you're going to be psyching yourself out. Do not start YouTube for money, okay? Start it as a hobby. And if it flourishes into a business, then follow in that direction. But don't go with the mindset that YouTube is going to allow you to quit your day job tomorrow, because it doesn't work that way. So for number 3, equipment. I know you guys were all waiting for equipment. Okay, so equipment is really important when it comes to your YouTube channel, but do not start your YouTube channel with the mindset that you're gonna buy the most high-tech, expensive, over-the-top products, okay? It is just not gonna be good for you. This is something that should happen over time as far as buying expensive equipment. So I say you should always start off with the basics when it comes to starting anything brand new because you're just not sure if you're gonna like it within another month or 2 or 3 months, and you don't want to have all this expensive equipment just sitting down in the house doing nothing. So I always say start off very small and start off with the basics, things that you're gonna actually need. So here are my list of things for basic items. You're gonna need a camera. You're gonna need lights. Now, if you don't wanna buy lights and you don't wanna invest into at least one light, because I feel like you always will need good lighting, it just is what it is. That's one thing you should just not go cheap on. Sorry, just saying. But there are cheaper lights out there that cost less than $100. If you do not wanna buy a light, you can go ahead and use day lighting, okay? Now, the only thing with daylighting is you have to record your videos when the light is actually shining bright out there, okay? Then you also might run into issues where the sun is behind the clouds, come in front of the clouds, and behind the clouds. But it is still free and it is still a great option with great quality. A memory card. It's really important to have a really good memory card, okay? Make sure it's compatible with your camera. Make sure it has enough storage on it. Make sure it is just a good brand, because a lot of times with memory cards, in the beginning I learned this and I was so stressed out all the time. A lot of times what's gonna happen is your memory card is going to get full as you go ahead and record more stuff, right? You're using it up. So you're going to have to keep on going back to your computer and emptying your memory card, which could take a lot of time. And will stall your entire video. So I say to have at least 1 or 2 memory cards, and make sure you're consistently cleaning it off after each video. An extra battery, because your battery will die and you will have to wait if you are in the middle of recording until that battery finishes charging. So I say always have an extra battery on hand. You're gonna need a tripod, and if you don't have a tripod, don't worry, okay? Sometimes what I do is I will literally have a table out and I will stack a bunch of textbooks or boxes on top of there, put my camera there, and boom, okay? I got a homemade tripod. And then as far as a lens, your camera should have came with a lens, a kit lens. I wouldn't recommend going in and buying all this fancy stuff as far as like several lenses. Learn how to use your camera first before you go ahead and invest into other products. And then for editing is important. Hello, that's how we get our information out there. For editing, I say you should definitely go ahead and use iMovie. iMovie is free if you're using a Mac. As far as Windows, maybe Windows Movie Maker if they still have that. And if you want to go to the next step up, you can use Final Cut Pro, which is what I use. And then the next step up is Adobe Premiere. So let's get straight into backdrops, okay? Because backdrops helps to bring the vision alive. So for backdrops, I'm always constantly changing. Sometimes I'll have paper. Sometimes I'll have fabric. Sometimes I'll have a lifestyle setup where it is my bed in the background. Sometimes I'll have just a nice blurred out background where I'm using the kitchen. So it's always a different look. Kind of go based off of what you're trying to go towards. Keep in mind though, if you are going to use backdrop paper can be expensive, okay? So the cheaper option to usually go with is fabric. The good thing about fabric is you can fold it up and put it away. Whereas paper, it's these long rolls that you have to kind of have to find somewhere to store them. They are more expensive, but they do give you the look that you're looking for. With fabric, it's so much more cheaper. You can go to your local fashion district, or you can go ahead and go to Joann's or Hobby Lobby or your local fabric store where you can get a piece of fabric. I say minimum 2 yards to kind of go ahead and cover the entire background. So this part is really important too, okay? And I struggle with this. A lot of times I'll use my iPhone to go ahead and record voiceovers, and I'm pretty much just going ahead and I'm going to where it says voice memos on my phone, and then I'll usually click it and then I'll hold it to an angle so that my voice is going straight into the phone, okay? And that's important because you don't want to have the mic being pointed this way because it's going to make the sound very lower, okay, and sound more muffled. So you really want to have it, because the sound is coming from here, you really want to have it angled. Maybe you prop it up in a book as you're doing your voiceover and just talk freely. Don't talk too close because you'll hear the mic sound when you pronounce certain words very harshly. Another way that I go ahead and record my audio is I use a lav mic, and it pretty much looks like this. And this is probably my favorite mic because it makes the sound more professional. It sounds very professional. The problem is I can never find it whenever I need it. But if you do have an iPhone, I don't know, 7, 8 and above, you will have to use your extra piece just to go ahead and clip it in because it still has the older kinds of attachment. It looks like this, and so it's a very hidden device. You can't really see it most of the time, but you can definitely start off with the iPhone mic for beginners. The next thing is editing. That's my favorite thing. I love editing when I'm in a good mood because it can be very tedious and really just drive me nuts. You guys know I love my super detailed videos. I love my videos just pointing out things because in voiceovers I can't really point and tell you guys. So I love to do editing where I can really show you guys what to do specifically and verbatim. So, okay, I can't edit on my phone. My fingers will cramp up, so I'm not gonna even mention that. If you have a Mac, sorry guys, I'm a Mac girl, so for the Windows people, I'm gonna try to help y'all out a little bit. But for a Mac, I started off with iMovie. I wasn't iMovie happy after a year into doing YouTube. But notice I said after a year into doing YouTube. So really spend time to figure out if you like iMovie. Some people love iMovie and they still use it to this day. For me, it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. But the good thing about iMovie is it's free. The next one that I upgraded to was Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro is my favorite one. I love Final Cut Pro. It does everything I needed to do. It's easy to read, it's easy to use, it's easy to navigate through. It just gets to the point. What you're gonna need is great music. And I always get asked, Simone, where do you find your music from? How do you find it? A lot of times you can use the YouTube music library, but I feel like it has corny music on it. So I'm not always like a fan of it. If I have to use it, I will. I do have my favorites. I can definitely do a video where I show you guys my top favorite YouTube or YouTube video songs, whatever, from the YouTube music library. But for the most part, I have kind of branched out to finding other music from other places because it just wasn't satisfying me anymore. As of right now, I do get some of my songs from the YouTube music library, and I do get a lot, if not all of my music from epidemicsound.com. They are, it is a website that is pretty much used for YouTubers and just creative people who need copyright music, copy-free music. Am I saying it right? Okay, so pretty much if you want great music that sounds better than the ding, 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 that sound, you want real music, you can go ahead and go to that website. Now, with that website, for the first 30 days, it is free. So go ahead and download what you can download, okay? And then you can either cancel it or you can go forward. But I ended up keeping it because I use it all the time and I need to listen to everything before I decide, okay, this is what I need. But for the first 30 days, it is free. Copyright music is really important. Like, you really want to make sure you're not using anybody else's music. And this is really important because you will get strikes on your channel. And this, if you're starting off and you're brand new, and if you have strikes on your channel, they will definitely not consider you for monetization, which means you can't get paid. Okay? This one is really basic and it's free, technically. I'm gonna say self-promotion, and this is really important because I feel like a lot of times people do YouTube with the intentions that they are going to post the video and it's going to grow on their own, when really you have to push that video out. It's not going to just say, oh, I posted a video of a lace frontal tutorial, boom, let's get you to 100K views. No, it doesn't work that way. You're going to have to do work. You're going to have to put in work. You're going to have to post that video everywhere, and you're going to have to send it to people. When I first started YouTube, I was sending it to everybody. Like, I sent it to my mom, my dad, my cousins, went through all my entire address book and my phone, my contact list, and sent it to everybody. Because in reality, no one knows you. No one's gonna know you until you make them know you. Hey, and that is against the rules, okay? In my book, don't do that. You determine your success, like literally. Consistency. You have to be consistent when it comes to starting your YouTube channel. And I feel like a lot of times, I think we all struggle with this a little bit because it's like, you know, if you have another job on the side, if you're doing something else, it's very easy for you to start something and not be able to keep up with it. But you want to post at least twice a week or at least once a week. Think about it. If you're a TV show, if you're on MTV, if you're on VH1, Love and Hip Hop is coming on every Monday, which means they're showing 4 episodes per month, which means you should have at least 4 videos per month, okay? If they could do it, you could do it. You want to also be honest about what you're talking about, be very clear about what you're talking about, be fun, be yourself, don't be a robot. Get started. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and get started. And I feel like I've met so many people who are like, oh my God, I want to do YouTube, I have all the equipment. Why you didn't start? That's always my question. They're like, I don't know, I'm nervous, I don't know what to talk about. You gotta start. When you wait until you're perfect, you're never gonna start. With that being said, go ahead and start your channel. Go ahead and show us your creativity. Like, don't be scared. At the end of the day, everyone was scared at one point. And look at everyone who's bigger, who you idolize. Look at where they are now. So it's really an outlet and a place for you to really just get what you are trying to say out to the people. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. You know, I didn't go into extreme detail with everything, but I did give you guys an insight on some things because I do want to go ahead and make shorter videos for you as far as what to use, what exactly do I use, my exact setup, my exact, you know, whatever. I want to go into extreme detail with you guys by doing short little videos every week. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, if there's anything that you guys want to know down below, you guys always know, let me know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.